All right, y'all. I'm back with the Camaro. This is how far I got it so far. I went through, dug all of that silicone out, got up underneath with the torch, burnt the rest of it out I could. Big wire wheel on the angle grinder. This was way longer than chewed it up a lot, but wire wheel all of it I could to get out of there so I could see all of the few spot welds that he did have on there. Cut the spot welds, used the seam buster, dropped the pan out. I started with the back pan because this was the last one he put in. Dropped this one out, then I dropped the front one out. When I dropped the front one out, he didn't even cut. So this is your frame that I was telling you about, the unibody part of the frame. And remember I told you on this driver's side it had a big gap. Well, he didn't even cut the metal off of this. The rusty old metal that was still on there, when I took this floor pan out, it was still, the whole rusty metal was still on there. All of them pieces of metal was still on there. So I'm thinking that was what was holding the pan up from sitting down on there properly. So then once I got that pan out, I got up here and I got to looking, and this whole front section up here, you can see it's all rotted out. You can see all of the holes, Swiss cheese up in there. So now, remember it was a big gap. It was a big gap along this side. You can still see the gap over there where he tried to fill it full of that silicone. So now what I'm gonna do one side at a time. The reason being is I don't wanna cut too much out of this car. Like I said, I don't know what he's done, if he's compromised the structure at all, and I'm not gonna risk it trying to just take all of the pans out and do it at one time. So starting with the driver's side, I'm gonna get the driver's side welded in solid. I know that it's good, and then I can mess with the passenger side. You see I painted this red because I have it left the impression, that's the front part of the floor pan. It left that impression right there because I have no way of telling exactly where this pan was supposed to sit in this car because I didn't take the original pans out. So I'm basically just going off of what he has done already, and I'm not 100% sure that it was in the correct location, but that's all I have to go off of. So I sprayed that red paint on there to leave the outline like you can see. So when I put that pan back in there, I know exactly where it's supposed to sit. This brace is supposed to sit on there because like I told you, the brace is still in the car, just like this brace is still in the car. So I left them in there like he did. I'm gonna grind them all down on the bottom side real good. I cut all of that metal out of there. I'm gonna grind all of that down good. I'm gonna make a whole new piece up there. If the phone will focus. So I'm gonna make a whole new piece up there. And you see it's got a bead that's going up there. If you can see that little rolled edge right there. So what I'm gonna do on my bead roller to give it that extra strength, because I'm probably gonna cut all the way back to up in here. And I'm gonna replace that whole section right there. But when I come down here, I'm gonna extend this out further than it is now. So you see where it stops now. And he had that gap in that floor pan was probably, we'll go with about a ½ inch in some spots, maybe a little less in others. So what I'm gonna do is I'm cutting all of this out, and this bead is gonna be gone in this area. So I'm gonna extend it out some. I'll probably bring this piece of metal out a ½ inch, so I know that I'm good all the way down, a ½ inch added, so that new floor pan is sitting there on that, and I have a good metal to weld to. What I'm gonna do is, since I'm cutting this rolled part out, and it doesn't seem like much, but that adds some strength to this sheet metal. So I'm gonna take my bead roller and I'm gonna try to do my best to roll that same bead in there. I mean, it might not be perfect, but it's gonna have a bead in it, that whole length of that metal right there, just like it did from the factory, to try to give it that little extra strength. Because like I said, these cars need all the help they can get. And the customer, you know, I told you he has a built 6.0 going in here, you know, so it's gonna be pushing some good power. And so that's where I'm at right now with it. I just want to make a quick video to show you guys, like, you know, I've been in contact with the customer every step of the way. You know, he's just happy to get this stuff done, and you know, he's a good dude. So I hate, you know, that this kind of stuff happens to people. So that's what I always tell y'all, man. Like, you know, you just got to try to find people who take pride in their work, man. Like I said, I'm not the best by no means. It's guys out there that make my work look, you know, terrible, but you know, I do my best I can, and I try to make sure that I'm doing good job, not only for my reputation and for myself, just knowing that I did the work properly, but for the customer as well, because I don't want nobody's car to leave up out of here, man, and you know, they're not satisfied with the work I did, or they get down the road and some stuff break or tear up. You know, I don't like that. So I'm gonna get my cardboard up in there, start taking some measurements, draw me some lines, start getting my cardboard laid out to make my template, get me some metal, start cutting, and like I said, I'm getting my bead roller out, roll that bead, and once I get all of that cut out and get that new section welded in there, I'll make you guys another video so you can see what I'm talking about. I try to explain it the best I can, but being able to see it is a lot better. So I'll keep all the videos coming and do my best to bring y'all along this journey. Appreciate y'all watching.